Imagine a world frozen in time-minus 5,000 years ago, high in the icy Alps. That's where an incredible discovery stunned the world. Otzi the Iceman, found perfectly preserved in a glacier. Otzi is Europe's oldest natural mummy, a time traveler from the Copper Age. His body tells a story of survival, mystery, and science that has captivated researchers for decades. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Otzi's DNA holds surprising secrets about his life, his health, and even his death. Scientists have uncovered clues about what he ate, the tools he carried, and the tattoos inked across his body. Every detail paints a vivid picture of life in ancient Europe, yet many questions remain unanswered. What really happened to Otzi in his final moments? Why was he carrying a copper axe, a rare item for his time? And what can his preserved body teach us about human history and evolution? This isn't just a story about an ancient mummy. It's about the secrets locked in ice, waiting for modern science to uncover them. Are you ready to dive into the past and uncover the astonishing mysteries of Otzi the Iceman? Stay tuned as we reveal the surprising discoveries that scientists have made and how they're rewriting history with every new finding. What secrets has Otzi carried for 5,000 years? Let's find out together. On September 19, 1991, two German hikers, Helmut and Erika Simon, were trekking through the rugged Otzi the Alps, straddling the border between Austria and Italy. It was a chilly, windy day, typical of the high-altitude terrain at 3,200 meters, 10,500 feet, above sea level. While navigating the east ridge of the Spitz Mountain, they stumbled upon something unexpected: a dark, human-shaped figure partially buried in the ice. At first glance, it looked like the body of a mountaineer who had recently perished in the unforgiving alpine conditions. The figure was face down, with its torso and legs encased in thick ice, and the surrounding area showed no obvious signs of disturbance. The couple reported their find to local authorities, believing they had uncovered a tragic, yet relatively modern, accident victim. The discovery site was remote, harsh, and exposed to extreme weather. Freezing temperatures, sharp winds, and an icy terrain made it challenging for rescue teams to investigate further. The body was stuck in the ice, with only parts of it visible, requiring specialized tools to extract it safely. Over the next few days, a local mountain gendarme and a nearby lodge owner began the painstaking process of freeing the remains. They used ice axes and even a pneumatic drill to chip away the dense ice. However, worsening weather forced them to abandon their efforts temporarily. News of the discovery spread quickly, attracting mountaineers, researchers, and media crews. Within days, the site became a hotspot for visitors curious to see the frozen body. Among those who arrived were renowned mountaineers Reinhold Messner and Hans Kammerlander, adding to the growing public interest. By September 22, the body and its surrounding artifacts were fully recovered and transported to Innsbruck, Austria, for further analysis. What happened next would shock the world. The initial examination suggested that the remains were far older than anyone had imagined. When archaeologist Konrad Spindler analyzed the findings, including a copper axe and pieces of Otzi's clothing, he concluded that the mummy was not a modern climber, but a man from the distant past, over 5,000 years ago, from the Copper Age. This revelation turned the discovery into a global sensation. Otzi was now recognized as the oldest natural mummy ever found in Europe, providing an unprecedented glimpse into prehistoric life. His incredible state of preservation was due to the unique conditions of the glacier, which had protected his body from decomposition. However, Otzi's discovery wasn't without controversy. The exact location where he was found sparked a border dispute between Austria and Italy. The Treaty of Saint-Germain in 1919 had established the border in the region, but the shifting glaciers made precise mapping difficult. Initially, Otzi was thought to be within Austrian territory because the nearby water sources drained into Austrian rivers. But a detailed survey in October 1991 revealed that Otzi's resting place was actually 92.56 meters inside Italy's borders. Despite this finding, Austrian authorities initially took custody of the body, leading to tensions between the two nations. Eventually, Italy was recognized as the rightful owner of the discovery site, and Otzi was transferred to the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Bolzano, Italy, where he remains to this day. The discovery of Otzi not only bridged science and history, but also reshaped how nations viewed their shared cultural heritage. It highlighted the importance of international cooperation in preserving and studying such remarkable finds. The mummy, once mistaken for a modern mountaineer, had become a symbol of human resilience and a connection to our ancient ancestors. From a chance encounter by two hikers to a groundbreaking scientific discovery, Otzi's journey from the ice to the museum has captivated the world. His frozen body has opened a window into a prehistoric world, where survival required ingenuity, adaptability, and endurance. The Copper Age, during which Otzi lived, was a transformative period in human history, spanning roughly 3300 to 2300 BCE. This era marked the transition from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age, as humans began to master the art of metalworking. It was a time of innovation, but also of immense challenges, as communities relied on a mix of farming, hunting, and gathering to survive in a harsh and unpredictable world. Daily life in the Copper Age was a constant battle against the elements. Food security was a major concern, with people relying on cultivated grains, such as incorn wheat and barley, and wild plants like berries and nuts. Hunting provided essential protein, with animals like ibex, deer, and wild goats forming a significant part of the diet. The tools used for hunting were simple but effective, often crafted from flint, bone, or wood. Bows, arrows, and knives were indispensable, and Otzi carried many of these with him. Shelter in this era was typically made of natural materials such as wood, stone, and thatch. Communities were small, with people living in close-knit groups that worked together to ensure survival. Disease and injuries were common, and life expectancy was short, making every day a struggle to endure. One of the most significant advancements of the Copper Age was the ability to work with copper. This soft but versatile metal revolutionized toolmaking, replacing stone in many cases. Otzi's copper axe is a prime example of this innovation. The axe, made from nearly pure copper and attached to a yew wood handle with birch tar and leather straps, was a valuable item. It was not just a tool but also a symbol of status, suggesting that Otzi may have held an important role in his community. Otzi's clothing also offers fascinating insights into his life and the technologies of his time. His attire was practical and well-suited for the cold alpine climate. He wore a cloak made of woven grass and leather garments, including leggings, a loincloth, and a jacket stitched from animal hides. His shoes were particularly sophisticated, with waterproof soles made of bearskin, uppers of deerskin, and an inner layer of grass that acted like modern-day socks. These carefully constructed garments indicate advanced craftsmanship and a deep understanding of available resources. The tools and accessories found with Otzi reveal even more about his daily life. In addition to his copper axe, he carried a flint-tipped knife with an ash handle, a quiver with unfinished arrows, and a fire-starting kit that included flint, pyrite, and dried fungi. The presence of these items suggests that he was prepared for long journeys or hunts in remote areas. So, who was Otzi? Was he a shepherd tending livestock in high-altitude pastures? Or perhaps a hunter tracking game across the rugged terrain? Some researchers speculate that he could have been a tradesman or craftsman, given the advanced tools and materials he carried. His tattoos, which may have served as a form of pain management, suggest he might have been a person of significance, perhaps even a healer or spiritual figure in his community. What we do know is that Otzi's life was not easy. His body bears signs of physical strain, including joint degeneration and injuries consistent with a life spent walking long distances over uneven terrain. This aligns with the theory that he may have been a shepherd, accustomed to moving livestock between seasonal grazing areas. Otzi's era was one of survival, ingenuity, and adaptation. Every tool, garment, and weapon he carried was essential, reflecting a life lived on the edge of survival. His preserved body gives us an extraordinary glimpse into the resilience and resourcefulness of our ancestors during the Copper Age. Otzi the Iceman is not just an archaeological marvel, but a treasure trove of scientific revelations. His astonishing preservation, made possible by natural conditions, has allowed researchers to uncover details about his health, diet, ancestry, and even the environmental challenges of his time. Let's explore the incredible findings modern science has revealed about Otzi. Body preservation. When Otzi was found in the Otzi Alps, his body had been frozen for over 5,000 years. This remarkable preservation was due to a unique set of environmental factors. After his death, Otzi was quickly covered by ice and snow, shielding him from scavengers and preventing decomposition. The cold, dry conditions effectively mummified his body, preserving his skin, organs, and even stomach contents. Over the centuries, the glacier acted like a natural freezer, keeping Otzi intact. However, periodic thawing and refreezing caused some minor damage, such as compression injuries to his ribs. Despite these challenges, Otzi remains one of the most well-preserved mummies ever discovered, offering scientists a rare opportunity to study a prehistoric human in extraordinary detail. Health findings. Tattoos and pain management. Otzi's body features 61 tattoos, composed of small black lines and crosses, made by rubbing soot into shallow cuts on his skin. These tattoos are located near joints and areas where Otzi likely experienced pain, such as his lower back, knees, and ankles. This placement suggests they may have served a therapeutic purpose, similar to acupuncture. Interestingly, these tattoos align with points used in modern acupuncture practices. Even though Otzi lived thousands of years before acupuncture was documented in ancient China. Parasites and gut issues. An analysis of Otzi's stomach revealed the presence of whipworm, a parasitic infection that can cause abdominal pain and fatigue. The discovery of whipworm eggs highlights the health challenges faced by people in the Copper Age, who had limited access to clean water and sanitation. Soot-blackened lungs. CT scans of Otzi's lungs revealed significant blackening caused by soot. This likely came from prolonged exposure to smoke from open fires, which were essential for warmth, cooking, and crafting. The damage to his lungs provides a glimpse into the environmental hazards faced by prehistoric people. Heart disease and lactose intolerance. DNA analysis revealed that Otzi had a genetic predisposition to heart disease. This was confirmed by scans showing calcification in his arteries. Despite his active lifestyle, Otzi's health was compromised by his genes. Additionally, Otzi was lactose intolerant, meaning he could not digest dairy products. This finding suggests that lactose intolerance was common among early European farmers, even as they began domesticating animals for milk. Diet analysis. Otzi's last meals have been meticulously reconstructed through the analysis of his stomach and intestines. His stomach contents showed a mix of ibex meat, acorn wheat, and wild berries, consumed just hours before his death. Meat and fat. Ibex meat, found in his stomach, suggests that Otzi relied on high-protein, fatty foods to sustain him during his travels in the mountains. The presence of dried meat indicates he may have prepared his food in advance, possibly smoking or drying it to preserve it for long journeys. Grains and wild plants. Otzi also consumed acorn wheat, an ancient grain that was likely made into bread or porridge. Traces of wild berries and herbs found in his stomach and intestines highlight the diverse foraging practices of his time. Pollen from his digestive system suggests he ate food harvested earlier in the year, indicating the use of stored provisions. Insights into food storage. The presence of well-preserved, processed food suggests that people in the Copper Age had developed efficient methods for storing food, such as drying or salting meat and grains. These practices were essential for survival during harsh winters or long journeys. DNA discoveries. DNA analysis of Otzi has revealed surprising insights into his ancestry and genetic makeup. Genetic lineage. Otzi's paternal DNA links him to Southern Europeans, particularly isolated populations like the Sardinians and Corsicans. His maternal DNA belongs to a rare mitochondrial group, K10, which is almost extinct today. This unique combination highlights the migration patterns of early European farmers who spread from Anatolia into Europe during the Neolithic period. First evidence of Lyme disease. In a groundbreaking discovery, scientists found traces of Borrelia burgdorferi, the bacteria responsible for Lyme disease, in Otzi's remains. This makes him the earliest known human to have suffered from Lyme disease. shedding light on the ancient origins of this condition. Anatolian farmer ancestry. Otzi's DNA reveals that 90% of his genetic makeup came from early Anatolian farmers, with a small percentage from European hunter-gatherers. This high percentage suggests that the integration of farming populations and hunter-gatherers was still in progress during Otzi's time. Reconstruction. Advances in 3D scanning and forensic modeling have allowed scientists to reconstruct Otzi's appearance with incredible accuracy. He was approximately 160 centimeters, 5'3", tall and weighed around 50 kilograms, 110 obs, during his lifetime. Though his mummified body now weighs only 13.75 kilograms, 30 obs. His face was weathered and lined, with deep brown eyes, hollow cheeks, and a beard. These features make him appear older than his estimated age of 45 at the time of death, reflecting the physical toll of his lifestyle. Genetic studies suggest that Otzi likely had darker skin than most modern Europeans, consistent with the appearance of early European farmers. He may have also been balding and carried genes associated with obesity, though his active lifestyle likely prevented this from manifesting. Otzi's preserved body offers a rare window into the past, allowing us to reconstruct his life, understand his health, and trace his genetic lineage. From the tattoos etched into his skin to the contents of his stomach, every detail reveals more about the world of the Copper Age. His story is not just one of survival, but also a testament to the incredible advancements of modern science. Otzi's discovery was remarkable, but the story of his death added an even greater layer of intrigue. How did a man who lived over 5,000 years ago meet such a violent and mysterious end? While his mummified body offers many clues, the exact circumstances remain a topic of debate among scientists. Let's explore the leading theories and evidence surrounding Otzi's demise. Initial assumptions: death by exposure. When Otzi was first discovered in the ice of the Otzi Alps, researchers assumed he had succumbed to the harsh conditions. The high-altitude environment, with freezing temperatures and unpredictable weather, was a deadly hazard for anyone unprepared. The position of Otzi's body, lying face down, partially encased in ice, seemed consistent with someone who had died during a sudden snowstorm. Early reports speculated that Otzi might have been a shepherd caught off guard while tending livestock or a traveler who became disoriented in the cold. While this theory initially made sense, further investigation revealed evidence that pointed to a much more violent and dramatic end. The arrow wound. In 2001, X-rays and CT scans of Otzi's body revealed a shocking discovery: a stone arrowhead lodged in his left shoulder. The arrow had pierced a vital artery, causing significant blood loss. This wound would have been fatal, even with modern medical treatment. The arrowhead was embedded deep in his body, and there was no evidence of the shaft. Researchers believe the shaft was removed before Otzi died, possibly by the person who shot him or even by Otzi himself in an attempt to survive. The tear in his coat near the wound aligns with the arrow's entry point, further confirming this was no accident. The loss of blood from the wound, combined with shock, would have rendered Otzi weak and disoriented. He likely bled to death shortly after the injury, collapsing where he was later found. Other injuries. Close examination of Otzi's body revealed additional injuries that provide clues about his final moments. Cuts and bruises. Otzi's hands and wrists had several small cuts and bruises, consistent with defensive wounds. These injuries suggest he may have been involved in a struggle or fight shortly before his death. A deep cut at the base of his thumb reached the bone, and it showed no signs of healing, indicating it was inflicted shortly before he died. Bruising on his chest and ribs points to possible blunt force trauma, adding to the evidence that Otzi's death was not a simple accident. Head injury. A CT scan revealed signs of a head injury, likely caused by a blow to the head or a fall. This could have been the result of an attack, or it might have occurred after Otzi collapsed from his arrow wound. Theories about Otzi's death. The evidence suggests that Otzi's death was the result of human conflict, but the reasons behind it remain unclear. Here are the most plausible theories. 1. Conflict over resources or hunting grounds. During the Copper Age, resources like hunting territories, grazing land, and access to water were critical for survival. Otzi may have been involved in a territorial dispute that escalated into violence. His injuries, particularly the arrow wound, suggest he may have been ambushed or attacked while defending his land or resources. 2. Betrayal or revenge. Some researchers speculate that Otzi may have been betrayed by someone he knew. The removal of the arrow shaft could indicate an attempt to hide the evidence of a murder. Alternatively, Otzi could have been seeking revenge for a prior conflict and was killed in the process. 3. Ritual sacrifice. Another theory posits that Otzi's death may have been part of a ritual sacrifice. In some ancient cultures, individuals were sacrificed to appease gods or ensure bountiful harvests. While there is no direct evidence to support this theory, Otzi's tattoos, tools, and the deliberate removal of the arrow shaft have led some to consider the possibility of a ritualistic element to his death. Alternative burial theory. While most researchers agree that Otzi died near the spot where he was found, some propose an alternative theory, that he died lower down the mountain and was later buried higher up. Archaeologist Alessandro Vanzetti and his team suggested that Otzi may have been buried intentionally, perhaps as part of a ceremonial practice. They argue that the stones found around his body could have formed a burial mound, which later collapsed as the ice melted and refroze. Other researchers, however, disagree. Biological anthropologist Albert Zink points out that the blood clots from Otzi's arrow wound would likely have been disrupted if his body had been moved. Additionally, the position of his body and the distribution of artifacts around him are consistent with someone who collapsed and died in place. What does the evidence say? The most widely accepted theory is that Otzi was ambushed and killed in a violent encounter. The arrow wound, defensive injuries, and possible head trauma suggest he was attacked, possibly while fleeing from his assailants. DNA analysis has added another layer to this story. Blood from at least 4 other individuals was found on Otzi's belongings, including his knife, an arrow, and his coat. This suggests that Otzi may have been involved in a violent encounter with multiple people. The blood on his knife could indicate that he managed to wound or kill his attackers before succumbing to his injuries. The exact motive for the attack remains unclear, but the evidence paints a picture of a man who lived and died in a time of intense competition and danger. Unsolved questions. Despite decades of research, some questions about Otzi's death remain unanswered. Who shot the arrow that killed him? Was he targeted specifically, or was he caught in the crossfire of a larger conflict? And what role did his status and possessions, such as the valuable copper axe, play in his demise? What we do know is that Otzi's death was not an isolated incident. It reflects the challenges and conflicts faced by people during the Copper Age, a time when survival often depended on strength, strategy, and alliances. Clothing, a wardrobe of survival. Otzi's clothing was both functional and sophisticated, designed to protect him from the harsh alpine environment. He wore a cloak made from woven grass, which acted as a lightweight, breathable outer layer to shield him from wind and rain. Beneath the cloak, he donned a mix of leather garments, including a long coat, leggings, and a loincloth, all stitched together from animal hides. The coat was crafted from strips of sheep and goat leather, carefully sewn with animal sinew for durability. His leggings were made from domesticated goat leather and were remarkably similar in design to modern pants. These provided flexibility and protection during long treks in the mountains. Perhaps the most intriguing piece of Otzi's attire was his fur cap, made from the skin of a brown bear. The cap, complete with a leather chin strap, offered warmth and protection from the cold alpine winds. His footwear was equally ingenious. His shoes featured bearskin soles, deerskin uppers, and an interior layer of dried grass that worked like modern socks, providing insulation and cushioning. The shoes were designed for traversing snowy terrain, with broad, sturdy soles that ensured a firm grip on icy surfaces. These garments reflect a deep understanding of available materials and an ability to adapt them for specific purposes. The craftsmanship suggests that Otzi either made the clothing himself or obtained them from a skilled artisan, possibly a community specialist. Tools and weapons. A prehistoric toolkit. Otzi's tools and weapons reveal much about his lifestyle and the technological advancements of the Copper Age. Among his most prized possessions was a copper axe, an object of immense value and utility. The axe featured a polished, nearly pure copper blade attached to a yew wood handle with birch tar and leather straps. This tool was not only a symbol of status, but also a versatile weapon and tool for chopping wood, hunting, or self-defense. In addition to the axe, Otzi carried a flint knife with an ash wood handle. The knife was a multi-purpose tool used for cutting meat, scraping hides, or crafting other items. Its lightweight design made it ideal for carrying on long journeys. Otzi also had a quiver containing 14 arrows. 2 of the arrows were complete, featuring flint tips and stabilizing feathers, while the remaining 12 were unfinished. This suggests that he may have been in the process of preparing or repairing his weapons during his journey. Alongside the arrows was a long unfinished yew bow, measuring over 1.8 meters, 72 inches. If completed, the bow would have been a powerful hunting weapon capable of taking down large game. One of the most fascinating items found with Otzi was his fire-making kit. It included flint, pyrite, and dried fungi, which could be used to create sparks and start fires. The kit also contained over a dozen different plant materials, likely used as tinder. Among these was birch fungus, known for its antiseptic properties, which could have been used for both fire-starting and medicinal purposes. These tools highlight Otzi's resourcefulness and his ability to prepare for life in a challenging environment. They also suggest he was highly mobile, possibly traveling long distances as a hunter, shepherd, or trader. Tattoos, marks of pain relief. Otzi's body features 61 tattoos, making him the oldest known human with preserved body art. These tattoos are not decorative. Instead, they consist of simple lines and crosses created by rubbing soot or charcoal into small incisions in the skin. The tattoos are located near joints and areas of pain, such as the lower back, knees, and ankles. This placement has led scientists to speculate that the tattoos were used as a form of pain management, similar to acupuncture. The lines align with points on the body that correspond to energy pathways or meridians, used in traditional Chinese medicine thousands of years later. For example, Otzi had a cluster of tattoos on his lower spine, a common site for pain relief in acupuncture. Other tattoos were found on his wrists, which might have targeted issues with his hands or arms, and behind his right knee, near his joints. The repetitive nature of the tattoos, with some areas marked multiple times, suggests they may have been applied repeatedly over his lifetime. This indicates that Otzi may have suffered from chronic pain, possibly due to the physical strain of his active lifestyle. These tattoos are an incredible glimpse into the medical practices of prehistoric people, suggesting they may have developed rudimentary forms of therapeutic body art long before written records of such practices existed. Cultural and technological implications. Every item Otzi carried or wore tells a story about the ingenuity and adaptability of Copper Age humans. His clothing, designed for functionality and warmth, reflects the ability to utilize natural resources to survive in extreme conditions. His tools and weapons demonstrate a mastery of craftsmanship and a deep understanding of materials like copper, flint, and wood. The tattoos, while still mysterious, hint at early forms of medical treatment and suggest a cultural significance that went beyond mere survival. Together, these findings provide an unparalleled look at the daily life, struggles, and ingenuity of a man who lived 5,000 years ago. Otzi the Iceman is more than a remarkable archaeological discovery. He is a bridge between the ancient past and modern science. His preserved body has reshaped our understanding of prehistoric life and inspired advancements in a variety of fields. From DNA analysis to cultural storytelling, Otzi's legacy continues to grow, offering new perspectives on humanity's journey through time. The study of Otzi has been instrumental in advancing scientific techniques. His body, preserved for over 5,000 years, provided researchers with an unprecedented opportunity to explore ancient DNA. By decoding his genome, scientists gained insights into his ancestry, health, and genetic traits, such as his predisposition to heart disease and lactose intolerance. These findings not only deepened our understanding of prehistoric humans, but also refined the methods used in genetic research, paving the way for further studies of ancient remains. Beyond genetics, Otzi's body has contributed to advancements in forensic science and archaeology. Researchers have used his injuries and preserved tissues to reconstruct the events leading to his death, employing techniques that are now standard in modern investigations. His tools and clothing have been meticulously analyzed, providing a detailed look at the technological capabilities of the Copper Age. This knowledge has enriched our understanding of how early humans adapted to their environment and solved practical challenges. Otzi's cultural impact is equally significant. Since his discovery, he has been the subject of countless books, documentaries, and exhibitions, capturing the imagination of people around the world. His story has been featured in films and even fictionalized in novels, blending scientific fact with creative storytelling. The South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Bolzano, Italy, where Otzi's body is housed, attracts thousands of visitors annually, making him a symbol of human resilience and curiosity. Otzi's discovery has also sparked comparisons with other ancient mummies, such as Egyptian mummies and bog bodies found in Northern Europe. Unlike Otzi, who was naturally preserved in ice, Egyptian mummies were deliberately embalmed as part of elaborate burial rituals. Bog bodies, preserved in the acidic conditions of peat bogs, often show signs of ritualistic killings. These differences highlight the diverse ways ancient cultures dealt with death and the preservation of their dead. Yet, all these mummies share a common thread. They provide a rare window into the lives of people from long-gone civilizations. What sets Otzi apart is the wealth of information preserved alongside him. His tools, clothing, and even the contents of his stomach offer a detailed snapshot of daily life in the Copper Age, a period that bridges the gap between the Stone and Bronze Ages. Otzi shows us how our ancestors used innovation, resourcefulness, and adaptation to thrive in a challenging world. His life and death remind us of the universality of human struggle and survival, connecting us to a distant past while informing our present. Otzi's legacy extends beyond the scientific community. He represents a shared human history, reminding us of our enduring connection to the people who came before us. His discovery not only reshaped our understanding of prehistory, but also continues to inspire new generations to explore the mysteries of our collective past. Otzi the Iceman's story is nothing short of extraordinary. From the moment his frozen body was discovered in the Alps, he has captivated scientists and the public alike. His well-preserved remains have offered astonishing insights into life during the Copper Age, revealing details about his diet, health, tools, and even the mysterious circumstances of his death. Through advanced DNA analysis, we've learned about his genetic lineage, his predisposition to heart disease, and even his lactose intolerance. Every discovery about Otzi has helped us piece together a vivid picture of a man who lived over 5,000 years ago. Yet many questions about Otzi remain unanswered. Who exactly was he in his community? Was his death the result of a territorial conflict, betrayal, or something more ceremonial? And what further secrets might his body and belongings reveal as scientific techniques continue to evolve? These mysteries keep his story alive, drawing us back to the icy peaks where he was found. If you're as fascinated by Otzi's story as we are, there's so much more to uncover about the people and cultures that shaped our history. Subscribe to our channel and join us on incredible journeys into the past. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an exploration into the secrets of history. Otzi's story is just the beginning. Together, we'll unravel more mysteries waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure. What do you think really happened to Otzi the Iceman? Was he ambushed by rivals, caught in a territorial dispute, or was his death part of an ancient ritual? Share your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're curious about more incredible discoveries, stay tuned for our upcoming videos. We'll dive into the secrets of other ancient mummies, uncover the mysteries of lost civilizations, and explore how modern science brings the past to life. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to join us on these amazing adventures.